Hello, it is Allison of The Allison Show, and today we're working with cupcakes. In part 1, I showed you how to make the most delicious, most perfectly beautiful buttercream frosting. And today, hold your horses, I'm going to show you how to pipe that frosting. Frosting cupcakes this way is faster than doing it by hand, it looks more professional, and it means that people get to enjoy more of your delicious buttercream. I'm going to show you the supplies you need to pipe the perfect cupcake frosting. You're going to need some icing bags. You can buy a box of disposable ones, or you can buy the reusable ones that you can wash. I like the disposable ones because I feel like no matter how much I wash the reusable ones, they still have that buttery, greasy residue. You're also going to need some piping tips. And when I pipe cupcakes, I like to use these larger piping tips. I will below link to my favorite beginning cupcake icing tips. There's a box of like 5 that I really like. This is optional, but this is called a coupler. And a coupler allows you to use the same frosting with different tips. To get started, I'm dropping the thinner part of the coupler into my icing bag, and I've cut the bottom so that it fits nicely. Then I take my tip and place the tip right on there, and then this part, just like a bottle cap, screws right on like this and holds the tip in place. And now I'm ready to load my perfect buttercream into the bag. So you want to kind of fold the sides over and give yourself a little bit of a cuff here. And I have just a mason jar or a pickle jar, kind of a wide-mouthed jar to stabilize it, helps a lot. You don't want to overload your bag, which means you're gonna have to, reload a couple times, but as you can see, it's not like the biggest chore. You can also get much larger bags. I just have really small bags right now. So they're little baby bags. Okay, this is a round tip. I'm gonna link down to what this round tip is and where you can get it. And I'm gonna show you a couple different ways to pipe your cupcake with this round tip. The first is the classic swirl, and this is what you're gonna see at a lot of cupcake shops. I am holding my icing directly above my cupcake. I am not touching the cupcake, and just depending at what kind of look you want, you can hold it at more of an angle, but usually you wanna hold it like perpendicular to the cupcakes. I start on the outside, and I'm just applying steady, even pressure, and then a light flick, and you get that perfect whoop, little top. So with this same round tip, I'm gonna show you a different method, and this is just like a classic pointy top. Starting in the center of the cupcake, hold it down, apply even pressure, whoop, and just pull up. So it kind of gives you like this cute little guy with a little point on the top. And if you wanted to maybe swirl it out one more time so it's to the edges a little more, and you could pull it up, give it even a little more height right there. Now I am going to show you why the coupler is your best friend in some cases. So I'm unscrewing just this top part, taking off this round tip and replacing it with a flower tip that's gonna give us, this is a petal tip, link below where you can get this one. And I'm gonna show you how to do a really gorgeous kind of almost like a vintage ruffle or a rose with it. See how on a petal tip there is a thin and a fat side to it. So here's how I remember which way you want it. Thin is out, fat is in, right? In my dreams, okay? So skinny girls, move over. And you want the thin point tipping out about 1 inch into your cupcake. I'm at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm doing these ruffles. And you can finish it off. Boop. In the middle, you have this really gorgeous kind of vintage ruffle. And what I like to do with this is add a little bit of this black sanding sugar right in the center, and it almost looks like a little flower. So I am putting a kind of a rounded star tip on. This is gonna give the ruffles have ridges look. And I like to start on the outside I'm not touching the cupcake, I'm not touching the icing, and I'm squeezing harder as I get to the top to give that fuller look. It is important that you say boop at the end. No, it is important that you pull up quickly at the end and give it that flick so that it does a point. I want to show you one other method using this kind of smaller rounded tip. This is a very vintage look. These little baby shells almost, or little rose buds all nestled up against each other like this. This could be fun to mix different colors of icing, get kind of like a little ombre effect. Now I'm going to show you how to use a couple different ways to use this larger wide open star tip. And I'm not using a coupler, so start in the center, steady even pressure, and boop. Look how gorgeous that is. Kind of ruffles and it comes to the point. So you notice I was just starting at the center, a slow amount of pressure, and then the necessary boop. And there you go, a plethora of ways to frost a cupcake with some piping tips.
Okay, just handle that.